I've cleaned up my riser detail. Notice none of those pipelines go through my couplings. Not going to get stuck on the blocks because to trim those you would have to explode them first. But much cleaner that way. Labeling your riser is extremely simple. You just got to get comfortable with what things are. I know for a long time I felt very confused about risers because one project to the next there's just a little bit of difference. You just got to get comfortable. Okay, so we're going to insert a text box. Come here to the one that says multi-line text. That's usually the best. And we're going to create our first box. I'm going to want my text to be a lot smaller. Let's call it exactly what it is, caps lock. We write everything on our drawings in caps. New 6-inch underground by others. Sometimes even if it's not by others, we still want to say by others. We'll find out the details later. Underground can be a tricky thing to get approved. Okay, that was a little too much. Let's scale it down. There we go. Big letters. Big letters. I hit mute, but I caught it. Make things look like they were, drawn with crown. Don't want that. And we're simply going to copy the same text window and paste that so that we can begin to identify the different parts of our system. And this can be done a million different ways. Flange concentric reducer. 4-inch to backflow test connection. 4-inch to fire department connection. 4-inch butterfly, B-fly with tamper. And then we put NC for normally closed. And I do get picky about this. I like my text boxes to be formatted the way I like them. All right, 4-inch check valve. Here, 4-inch out to system. 2-inch test and drain with pressure relief. Systems are required. New systems have to have a pressure relief valve, which that's what this is. If you're not familiar, if you got a water heater at home, you should have a relief valve that looks similar to that. Your systems have to have a relief valve so that you don't run the risk of over-pressurizing your pipe. All right. New 4-inch flow switch. New 4-inch Ames. Oh, my bad. 3000 SS DCDA. Oh, and these have two styles of meters. One is gallon per minute, and the other is CFM. You have to verify with the authority, is it a gallon per minute meter or is it a cubic feet per minute? For this, we're going to say GPM. Last one to write down. Oh, well, almost last. All right, 2-inch main drain to exterior. Our FTCs generally come in two types, since I've already gone this far. One is called a Storz, and the other is a Siamese. Alright, almost big enough. This is what a Storz fire department connection looks like. This is typically a 5-inch connection. It's not threaded, it kind of locks together. The other thing you'll see is a Siamese fire department connection, and they can be mounted on the wall, they can be freestanding. More often than not these days we're using a Storz type connection. So that's what we're going to say, 4-inch to 5-inch Storz FTC on 30% D bend. The Storz, generally they don't want to come straight out the wall. They're on a little look down to make it easier to connect. Alright, and now we just simply draw a leader, which I'm drawing a line. Everything's on the text layer, and making sure that whoever's reviewing our drawing knows what we're referencing. Alright, so save for a couple minor details. This is a system riser. We could note an alarm bell, but more often than not, they're going to a strobe and a horn. We're also required to put a spare head box in a riser room. There's not a real good place with the space available in this detail, so we won't bother there. And when we do our hydraulics, we have to show that there will be a hydraulic placard. All things we'll cover later, but that is a pretty basic riser detail.